Really? You think you're free, huh? Really, you think so? You think this is the land of the free? The United States of America? Really? You think so, huh? No, it ain't. You're living in a delusion and an illusion now. I just found out a few weeks ago, well, actually this week, I just found out that in some parts of the country, you now have to have a passport to travel. I'm not talking about going to Canada or Mexico. I'm talking about from state to state. You want to talk about surveillance nation? You thought what Edward Snowden told you was scary? Please. I started bringing stuff up since 2008. You don't believe me? Go to YouTube and look up Surveillance Nation under Albert Torcaso. Excuse me, Torcaso. So America, do you like living in prison? You don't think you're in prison, do you? You're as much a prisoner as somebody in an actual prison or jail. Yes, you are. You may not see it because it's not a physical thing. Right now, we do not have armed soldiers, sailors, and Marines patrolling this nation. And we don't have martial law yet. But when we have Democratic presidents and Republican presidents, Democratic members of Congress and Republican members of Congress making laws that allow for the detention and execution of your fellow Americans, that allow for surveillance of every kind and any kind for no damn reason, you are not living in that country that we sing about. We have destroyed what our founding members, our founding fathers and mothers created. And I don't even know why our military is still fighting for freedom. I love our heroes. Every veteran that ever put that uniform on is a hero, whether they want to admit it or not. But they're not fighting for freedom anymore, at least not in America. How can you be free when if you go to a Walmart, if you go to a Subway, if you go to a Sheetz, if you go to a freaking Target, if you go to the bank, if you go anywhere, you got a camera watching you. And I don't care what your excuses are, corporations and government. Oh, it's for your protection. Like hell it is. You can't fool me. You can't give me the delusions. You can't beat me. Because I know the truth. You see, America, I once was in law enforcement training. And we could stop those damn terrorists. In fact, I'm going to throw something at you and you ain't going to like it. So get ready to shit yourself. I believe that the terrorists and the attacks that occurred in 1991 and in 2000, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but the evidence points to a possibility, at the very least, that it was allowed to happen. And it may go worse than that. Because think about this. Since 2001, we have the Patriot Acts. We have suspended habeas corpus. We have gotten the Military Commissions Acts of 2006 and I think 2009. 2006, 2009, I believe. We have the National Defense Authorization Act that now allows them to detain and kill you if they have to, or feel that they do, if they consider you an enemy combatant or the T word. We get tracked on everything we do. This video is being tracked. You're being tracked right now. Whether your ass likes it or not, you're being tracked. You want to make a phone call? Being tracked. You want to go to the freaking store and buy some food? Being tracked. Every time you use one of those discount cards, being tracked. Every time you go to the bank, being tracked. Every time you go to Walmart, being tracked. Every time you go to whatever freaking store, being tracked. What about your debit cards? Being tracked. Credit cards being tracked. Money being tracked. That's not liberty. That's not freedom. And I'm not going to hear Well, it reduces retail theft and it saves us money. Even my own relatives are full of shit. I love them, but you're full of shit. I was in law enforcement. We don't need that. It's a way to control us. And frankly, it's a way to destroy us. And we need to ask ourselves, why is it going on? Really? And here's a news flash. You know who helped to fund Al Qaeda originally? Originally, one of the governments to fund Al Qaeda through what they call the Mujahideen. I may not be pronouncing it right. The Mujahideen. You know who funded it? The United States of America. Guess who funded Saddam Hussein at one point? The United States of America. So, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not paranoid. I'm just a patriotic, ethical, legal, loving American that tells the truth. You need to start connecting the dots. We funded these people. These attacks happened. And now we have laws that traps us. As far as the retail theft, look, I'd rather have myself paying $20 for a loaf of bread before I lose my liberty. As far as protecting us, you can look this up. Back about maybe 8 to 10 or more years ago, in Las Vegas, a 5-year-old child was kidnapped out of a casino, raped, and killed. Cameras all over the fucking place. I almost said something else. Freaking place. Everywhere there were cameras. Child's still dead. Child's still dead. Recently, there have been attacks on workers at Walmarts, Targets, you name it. Had a lot of cameras. Still attacked. So what have they protected? What about the San Bernardino attacks? Don't buy the bullshit. If you want a bag of bullshit, I'll get you some. Don't buy it. This is a brand new year. I want a brand new you. Why do I put my life on the line saying this shit? Well, there's something more important than Albert's life. It's the life of every American. It's the life of every human being on this planet. That's right. I may not get to the mountain, just like Martin Luther King said, but I'm going to help you to get there.